What's up, YouTube? Welcome back. So this one's probably going to be a little bit longer than your 5-minute video. We're going to go over the stock market expected moves. Something we do every week. We draw these lines. You're going to watch them line up or not. More importantly, this is what market makers, this is where everybody's pricing in risk for the week. Now, this is where hedging takes place. Well, things are already accounted for. This is where you get the delta, the gamma hedges. The gamma squeezes, delta hedging. All this occurs outside of these moves when things just get outside of planned risk. It's never a 1-to-1 ratio. It's you bought this many options, so we're going to short this many shares. Or we got to buy this many shares to hedge your bet. And it's 1-to-1, and then as it fans out, maybe it's a 3-to-1, and then out here it's like, we'll buy a couple in case it heads that way. But once the price action starts to fluctuate and we get ahead, now they got to start accounting. They got to start buying more shares. They'll hedge their bets, your deltas. You have to understand deltas, I guess. This is hard to even put in just 2 seconds. Anyway, when you get outside the expected moves, volatility takes place. Not talking about the VIX, talking about actual volatility where algos are getting turned on, and they got to either start hedging or they got to rein it back in. And then I also want to talk about what we've seen the past couple weeks. There's a lot of people talking about stock market crash, which is typically the bottom. We already have technically crashed. We've crashed across the board on all three, but I want to give my take on what we're seeing right now and if an actual full-blown, how do I say crash without, we've already crashed, how does it, what do I say, just it gets worse? Because some people have sarcastically made comments like, imagine just now calling out the crash. Like, yeah, that's not what I'm doing. And it's going to sound very fear-mongering, I guess. I'm going to point some things out. You take it however you want. As a trader, we can take it day by day, so we can change our minds at that point. But for some people, are really talking about the market bottom, or you're looking for the bottom. Some people said the bottom is in. The markets have been, for a while, very incredibly efficient. Now, the wild crashes are when things get very inefficient, where we're not on board. And that's what I'm curious if we're going to see. So that's what we're going to talk about when we get into it. So let's actually just, I'm going to jump in, pull up the options chain. We're going to find it. So Tesla has an expected move of $69. We're going to check Amazon real quick. 120, sorry for my dog. She just can't sit still. 125.72. Okay, let's do, I can remember all these. 721. QQQ 1231. Okay. And SPY 12. So I'm not pricing in too crazy of a move. Hang on, let's go daily Tesla. See, now Tesla's known to getting outside these standard deviations. It has that cult following. Now Tesla's not shy of getting crazy. So here's how I reined it back in. This last week we just broke and then kind of went for it. End of the day, we caught the end of the day rally. Let's just jot these up real quick. $69 for Tesla. This is one I do continue to add in my investment account, and I used to get pretty hyped. Like, man, all right, I'm getting some more shares at $700. It's not bad. And then I bought some more at $640, and it was the first time I was like, wonder what I'm going to buy it for next week. I wasn't excited. I was like, yeah, sweet. Sure can't wait to buy. It's my investment house, and my mindset's a little bit different, but even it's hard to ignore that as a trader. Like, I could just wait and buy more next week when it's cheaper. But that's outside the plan. All right. Amazon, we've only done this for a couple weeks now. We're going to get to this. That got out, and then the last day we reined it back in. So we actually closed inside the expected move right here. And then last week we got to the bottom edge. We did get outside. We reined it back in. So 125.72. That's man. Amazon could do that inside a couple hours. We are not pricing in anything on Amazon's end. Close enough. That puts us right there in that zone. I'd almost be curious if we go, because by the time we hit this top, that'd be 2 standard deviations. would not be surprised to see us actually get above to almost 3, then pull it back, maybe close inside here. If I had to make a prediction, so first of all, bear flag or reversal. Let me just pull this up right here. They look the same. That's why I say that, bear flag or reversal. Same with the bull flag. And what did we call this move right here? Bear flag reversal, hopefully a higher low. JK. And then it just went forward to the downside. So like I said, it'll look the same. We get below that zone, that might be some trouble for Amazon, which we'll get to the tech sector, because some people say it's cheap. Some people think things are oversold. I even said that myself last week. I thought if we were going to bounce, it was last week. Let's just try. That's exactly what I'm going to talk about. Let's just get these expected moves real quick before I do forget about them. All right, IWM 721. I guess we're starting to squeeze here. I'm going to bring that back in. I don't like these lines go out like that. That's saving? Usually there's like a check mark there. Don't worry about that in a second. Okay. This was 1231. I will say, so just to kind of, so there's not a bunch of awkward silence and you guys just watch me draw some lines. You're going to find out just how many creators know what they're talking about and not. Probably here within the next probably couple weeks. I think there's a lot that like to pretend and go with the subtle excuses. And you're going to watch them probably have a confused look on their face. I don't know if that means it's saving. You guys know I'm over here, like click save and it's a check mark. You guys ever watch that? Alright. Look at that. Alright, let's do. And we're gonna fudge that a bit. It was 1277. We're just gonna go up here. I gotta say though, those of you guys that have my bot, I'm thinking about turning the puts off. That's what makes the majority of this up. Oh man. If you guys had only seen let's talk about the markets in general. All right, so right now, these green numbers you're seeing, it's a trade that my bot takes every week. It's an iron condor. So I'm selling a call spread, I'm selling a put spread. Now, I'm outside the expected move, right? This is like a no management trade. Takes the trade on Friday, closes the previous week, takes the money on a new one. Now, it's a $2 spread, so the max you can lose is 200 minus what you collected. So, like you can tell right here, we collected a small one. You know, and then it sucked. We collected, what, $32 here, and then took a $168 loss. It definitely wins more than it loses, but we can see the volatility starting to pick up, and there's even some bigger ones back here. I forgot to put some of these in. But you just don't see a lot of we're making 2 deviations to the upside. And okay, so people like to talk about efficiency in the markets. That's how I can make this trade. It's how that bot was created. These markets are incredibly efficient. While you guys love to talk about Powell's going to say this or that, and here's this bullish reason, here's this bearish reason. You got all the YouTubers that are going live all day, every day, and 9 million videos. Quite a few of them are now doing like a similar trend. I'm not the first one, I don't think. You ever notice, like, just kidding. There's like there's one where they go live, and then there's one where there's pre-recorded. A couple people are new to that game. Anyway, one excuse after another, day to day. You get like it have you thinking you're on your toes this whole time. Like, what's it gonna do today? It's been incredibly efficient. I can tell you what it's probably gonna do is stay inside this move for the whole week, and by doing so, I can take advantage of selling people options trades. What we're seeing though is, so look at these. Like, yeah, we got outside, we came back in, big deal. Barely got outside, reined it back in. Look at every time, like, this actually was a loss to the upside. That one time where he deleted the red candles, just went ripping and roaring. These moves happen in a bear market. It's going to suck. But see how efficient right there? Like, we gapped all the way down, came right back in. Like, I wouldn't call that a fluke. But look how much we just stay inside these lines. Look what we've done the past 2 weeks in a row now. That's really loud. So first of all, we get down. We hit that move, the expected move. The move we drew out just like we did today. We gapped up. We came back down again, got outside, closed back in, opened up, pushed up. You think we're just flirting with this line. People are calling that a support. And then it pushes up. And then we sell off. And we melt off. And then we gap down and we go down again. Now this was actually a spread that I had sold. This was about to be that next red trade. Because I had sold this put, bought this one, it's a $2 spread. Red just screaming back up to green. That last day, gapped up, moved up, and that was it. Alright, and then next week, this is last week, so that was the previous week before. Pretty okay day, gapped up and go. Some people call that a bullish candle. Imagine trading candle patterns. That's a hammer or a star or something. You know, everything's got a name to it. That's actually a bullish. If you look at just that candle alone, that's a bullish candle. Close at the highs. We gap down and we sell off. The next day we gap down. Now we break the expected move. We tried to, but we closed technically green. We did gap up. There's a little bit up and down in there. Sold completely off. And then we reined it back in. Oh, it's around a different time frame. So there was Friday. Almost had another red trade. I posted my trades in the Mentorship group. I had put spreads that I'd sold in the Qs and SPY, added more on SPY, which almost could have been a moron move. Red. I had sold the 383s in the Qs and the 382s in SPY. At one point they're just as red as could be. I'm thinking, oh man, please get the end of the day rally. I just need to be above that. And we come screaming right back in. The one thing that's showing off to me is how inefficient we are. I keep using the wrong word. Inefficient. How efficient we're not. It's not looking so efficient anymore. Like, we're getting outside these moves. I guess the only analogy I have is it's like a trimmer before an earthquake. We're showing off that market makers are not pricing in risk accordingly. Now, there's been a lot of low volume days. Now, at that point, now that creates a question, paints the scenario, is there a liquidity issue? Because some people, when the markets get like this, they've already made their move. The people that are short and panic selling, they're already out. The buy the dip crowd's not showing up at all. You can find a buyer out here to save your life. The only people buying this is to cover their short positions. And that creates an issue, because when shorts just get that confidence and they quit doing that, then we do melt off. Things do get crazy. So while a lot of other, I hate to talk bad, but there's a lot of content creators that are like, oh, it's bad, red candle, you know, like, good, you can look at a chart, but you don't understand why, you don't understand the mechanics of how it's moving. And yes, we're down, and this is the fear-mongering part, is we could definitely get a lot worse. There's got to be a wick or something. Oh, that's from that. Hang on a second, this was an example I drew for somebody else. That's nothing, but that was messing me up on this, because these look like actual zones. Okay. Honestly, I thought that, I was like, man, why was I zoning this out? What a coincidence. That one did line up over here. All right, so let's grab that peak. See where we're at. All right, so there's the peak. All right, 20% down. We officially, finally, crashed. Bear market. That's what they call that. It's 20% down. I personally think we're going a little bit further. I was thinking that zone right here. I guess if you wanted a, let's grab that. Puts us, yeah, I was thinking 30%. Coincidentally, now I called it 30% last year. I hope it does that just so I can find that video from like August. Because I said, hey, we're not crashing this year, but it's going to be next year. I don't think it's going to be bad as the Rona crash, which was 50%. I think it's going to be 30%. I just hope that's right so I can say I do have a crystal ball. But nonetheless, I like that right here. And my reasoning for it, SPY does move at this pace, and that would land us right here. If we just sold off into that, here's the Rona chapter where things just got wild. Things went up. Most people think this is the Rona crash. They sent the markets up first, then crashed it, then just went nuts. Now, if we take that money and rein it right back in, we land this thing right here. We are on track, on pace. We can close that chapter and continue. We're back on track. And find a new excuse that time. So a lot of that just made sense to me. A lot of people think that once the market crashes, we've had this talk in our mentorship group too, was once it crashes, we officially hit the bear market. You know, that's it. It's done. You get the headlines. Everybody freaks out. Thinking, oh, it's crashed. It's going to get so much worse because if you've ever watched someone trade, that's how they do. Every time something pushes to all-time highs, they want to short it. Every time something crashes, they want to sell it. Like their heads are on backwards. Nonetheless, that happens. I call that job security because there's got to be someone at the other end of that trade. And what I don't like doing is, well, we did this last time, and I've seen a lot of people talking about it online. And I gotta be honest, as much as I'm saying what they're saying, I don't agree with it. I don't agree with them. I think they're more coincidentally right. You can tell by the things they say, they have no idea what they're talking about. They're trying to just match triangle to triangle. They have no idea what's going on or why. So I'm trying to point out why I'm thinking, like, here's this crash, and here's where we really melted off. Like, we were doing fine, and people are taking this exact shape because it does look similar. And then this is around the corner. So, like, we're right. Does that look pretty familiar to you guys? There's the crash. If we were to... How does that look right now? If you just keep this image in your head, we got some up and then just down, down, down. Now this is a few months. I'm on the weekly charts. This is months of red right here. We've been in months of red, and people are like, oh, imagine going short right here. Like, yeah, imagine not reading the writing on the wall. I wouldn't agree with I've seen enough on Facebook. I'm sorry. Facebook, Reddit, other groups, chats. I haven't seen anybody bring up any valid reason as to why. It looks like all they're doing is just like talking about red, and the market's still. Didn't mean to do that. Everything's still red. You know, like, oh, they're inflation. You know, just generic crap. To be honest, let me get back up to where we were at. But what had me thinking was just how we are getting outside these expected moves. It is uncomfortable. We're not just coming out and reining it back in. These moves are spread. This is the volatility I talk about, though. But we're 2 weeks in a row. I think we're flirting with we're just gonna make it one day. Why is this? See, when you bounce around time frame, I don't know. I just wanted to point that out. That if this isn't the bottom right here, we just might be looking to spill. Because if there is a liquidity issue, it's going nuts. A lot of things are going to dry up. In a real meltdown crash, things dry up. You're going to be looking for things. The major indexes will still have some volume in it. But like I said, it's going to be a puddle in a desert. And everyone's going to flock to that puddle. So the other things just get screwed. So just to... As a trader, we can take it day by day. Let's just, one last thing. Look at the VIX. VIX just really isn't showing off an actual crash. I think if we start getting crazy and this starts to pop, and we start to see some buyers buy, this is a $12,000 contract. This isn't the average kid on Robinhood. So when traders start buying this up, and they're getting uneasy, we might see SPY really make that move to the downside. So I'll tell you this, as a trader, I'm on the lookout for that. Still taking day by day. When we do sell off like this, you set up for awesome rip your face off rallies. So being short in that without a stop, like, you're setting yourself up to take a huge chunk out of your account, because that will take you past any point of you've ever thought comfortable, and you'll probably be selling at the new lower high, which hopefully is a lower high if you were short and you're trying to ride that one out. But you gotta be careful. Just imagine going short here. We get the rip your face off rally, or you're questioning yourself right now, was that a rip your face off rally, or was that the bottom? Because you know what's going to happen when the green candles show up. The bulls show up and start talking on Facebook about how much they knew it was the bottom and all that. We're headed to all-time highs, and all the bullish reasons come out. So as a trader, day by day, stop out. Imagine that you have two options, right? You're going to buy or you're going to sell. You're going to look at this ticker, I'm going to buy it or I'm going to sell it. You think it's oversold, so you're going to buy it. Sure, the trend continues, more red candles than green, it was going down, you take the L. You play the trend, more red candles than green, just like I said. You did the math, seemed simple. You pointed the arrows, you drew the EMAs, everything says down. So you go short. And then what, rip your face off rally happens and you tag out? So what? I would rather do that than try to catch every market bottom and just keep getting smoked. Now that's me talking to other traders. There are plenty of people out there that are just buying the dip and then complaining about buying the dip again. Like that's not buying the dip. that is the definition of a downtrend. If you bought the dip and tagged out because it lost, then yeah, you tried to buy the dip, you tagged out. So what? That sucks, because there's been times I've fought that the whole way down. That being said, I'm about to wrap it up. Let me know what you guys think down below. This getting outside the expected moves the way we have, it's not just that we did, it's how we did it. We're 2 weeks in a row. Is that a fluke? Are we closer to the bottom? Some people have already called out the stock market bottom. Are you sticking with that? Or even if you are sticking with that, how much in the back of your mind are you thinking we could just have a couple more solid red weeks to really give the finale out there? There's always a season finale or a series finale, and it's usually with someone's account. Right now, we've just trended down, and as choppy as it has been, with the power of hindsight, it hasn't been that bad. Do we get a series finale? Just rip the Band-Aid off, full send. Let me show you. We're on the S&P right now, or the futures. That's what I was talking about right there. Get it right back down. We close that chapter out. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Are we just going to spill over and out? Or do we continue the trend down? Is this I can't call it a bottom. As a trader, I don't even care. We've had that conversation. That doesn't even matter. It's speculation. That part's fun. I don't know if there really is a right or wrong. Ultimately, where you're placing that trade. And as I go on these streams, someone said, when did this become everyone's dumb and only I know? And if you've ever thought that about me, I'd say you've probably only seen 5 seconds and you have a very closed off mind. Sometimes my delivery isn't the best, but understand that if you're watching me, I have a small channel. It's not like I'm just out here like me, Kevin, with millions. If you're watching me, I'm going to assume you're at least with me, so we're talking about everyone else. You are excluded. We are talking third person right here. You guys are with me. Anyway, I'm curious to hear in the comments down below. No wrong answers. What do you think's going to happen? And if somebody says bottom or crash to the floor, SPY to 150, don't try to roast them. Let's not make this a debate. I just want to hear everyone's opinion. And then let's just get a collective list of this many people think it's the bottom. This many people think bottom's close. Not yet. Or, yeah, I know there's going to be some bears that are just like, we're just getting warmed up, Don. This is the one. Because I have seen it's the end of the American Empire or something. Like, oh, oh boy. If that's the case, stocks aren't they're the least of your problems. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I do have a few real estate videos coming up. Yeah. If you have any questions about real estate, now's the time. I'll see you guys in the next one.